What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. This time we have some very interesting news for this Batman game that we know was supposedly meant to be at E3, but of course, thank you to Corona, that's no longer happening, but it seems like it still might be going down. Now, before we do dive into that great information, I have a quick question for you guys, and that is, imagine if this Batman game was being released this year alongside, of course, the Avengers game, but you can only play one of them this year. Which game would it be? Get in the comment section below and let me know either Batman or, of course, the Avengers game. My answer will be at the end of this video, but it'll be interesting to see what you guys actually think, because hey, you know, it's a lot of competition. Do not forget, there are only like a couple of days left until you can enter into this giveaway that I've teamed up with Instant Gaming for, where you can basically win a game of your choice. So go ahead and enter if you haven't already. The link's in the description below. They do a bunch of amazing games for dirt cheap prices, and like I said, there's a couple of days left, so don't miss out on this one. And hey, if you could drop a like on this video, it really does help, allows us to reach more people, and do not forget to subscribe because it's much appreciated. Now, diving into this information, it comes from a very well-known journalist and slash, I guess you could say, industry insider. Now, he has provided a new update on the new Batman game in development, of course, by Warner Bros. Montreal. Now, more specifically, the journalist, who is actually called Sabi, has noted that the game has been having development issues. However, this hasn't changed the details that they've reported on in the past. Now, in other words, the game is still, I guess, centered around a playable Bat family and, of course, a Court of Owls, which, if you didn't know, for whatever reason, is an organized crime group and secret society that has existed in Gotham City since, like, the colonial times, okay? It's just a long time, alright? Now, his exact words on Twitter were, "The new Batman Arkham-style game, despite recent name changes and development issues, continues to feature a playable Bat family and Court of Owl appearances, as I initially reported." Now, he does state that the game is still in some capacity of a type of soft reboot. Now, for those who don't know, basically you got a hard reboot and a soft reboot, right? So a hard reboot is when all previous, I guess, continuity is removed. So in other words, you're in the same universe, but you're restarting it. And then you got a soft reboot, which is essentially the opposite of this. So it keeps everything established before it, but builds a story that is far removed from the original character's story and events. So in a nutshell, I guess think of it not as a restart, but more of a reintroduction or a new point to basically jump into, if that makes sense. Hopefully that does make sense. If it doesn't, I'm sure people will figure it out in the comments below. Now, he does continue to say that, simply put, the people I initially got the information for on the game have implied that the articles about it not retaining the name and also being sort of a soft reboot are at least particularly correct, and that's coming from Sabi himself. He did continue to, I guess, end that by saying, "It's good to note that the test lines up with what I initially shared." Now, besides this, what we know is that Warner Bros., like I said at the beginning of the video, was meant to be going to E3, right? Though, of course, thank you to coronavirus and the cancellation since then, it was actually then reported stating that the Batman game was going to be announced there alongside a new Harry Potter game and, of course, Rocksteady's new game, which there's been a ton of speculation for. We're talking like a Superman game, whatever it may be. No one knows what those guys are up to at the moment, but there's a lot of speculation. Now, of course, E3 2020, if this lineup was correct, was definitely going to be massive. I mean, all these free games, plus, of course, announcing a new console. We're talking a PlayStation 5, the new Xbox. There's a ton of stuff going on this year before coronavirus. So that's, I mean, this is the thing. A lot of people say that that seems a bit too good to be true, but no one really knows. Now, we have someone else claim that they have more info, except this time, in my opinion, right, it's a lot less trustworthy as they just claim to be an insider, and of course, where we don't know their previous track record, etc., it's quite difficult, you know, to say compared to Sabi, because again, Sabi or Sabi, I don't know how you pronounce it, but he seems more trustworthy purely just because of his track record. He's well known in the community, and hey, when you have that kind of reputation, naturally you tend to believe that person more, I guess, in my opinion. Just an opinion, alright? Now, the person who actually claims to have more information does dig a bit deeper in regards to the announcement date. Now, we know that Sabi is just saying that they're having development issues. Is that because people are working from home or whatever? I don't know, the team's not well connected. We don't know what that reason is, but one thing Sabi didn't say is about, are they still going to announce a game? Is it still going, for when E3 was? When is it going to be released? Console-wise, etc. That is what has not been shared. And that's basically what this new guy who's come on the scene called Mr. Bloom basically, I guess, reveals. Now, he states, despite E3's cancellation, that there will be a reveal sometime in June, which of course is just 2 months away, or, and he puts in big caps, maybe sooner. Now, he also says that WB has announced the game by June to, I guess, contractual obligations and promises that many will see for themselves, and again, very soon. Now again, if I had to say which one of these I trust more, by a long shot it will be the first statement by Sabi. Although it doesn't talk about a release date or anything, I just feel that piece of information is just a lot more solid than, of course, Mr. Bloom. But again, I don't want to be judgmental completely on that, just purely because Mr. Bloom doesn't have a track record, so who knows, this might be the beginning of a good track record for him. But we don't know if he is lying because nobody knows anything right now. But what's interesting, and I've seen a lot of people kind of go towards Mr. Bloom on this case, and it's because he was also asked about the Harry Potter game but just simply refused to say anything, as he said he has no info. But I want you to get in the comments below and let me know your thoughts on that. What do you think? I mean, again, leaks are leaks. I always say take it as a pinch of salt, and of course, no one really knows anything. So when you see all these informations, you can only put them together as much as possible. And I mean, let's be honest, they have been teasing the game since September last year, so we know one thing is for certain right now, that a new Batman game is happening, okay? And I've always said that, does a game of that level really need to go to an E3 event? Absolutely not. I mean, let's just niche it down here, okay? My question to you guys is, we got the Avengers game and the Batman game, right? Let's say they both get released this year, which I don't think the Batman game will, but let's just say it did, right? Which game would you guys genuinely play? I know for a fact, although I'm excited for the Avengers game, if I had one game to only play this year, it would definitely be a new Batman game, purely because we know how the games are in the past, and we know that it's just gonna be a massive game. And that's why I always say, and will stay strong to the word of, a game with that type of popularity and that type of reputation, and with a great developing studio behind them, really doesn't need that big gaming event to go to, because there would be enough hype around, I guess, the internet to basically drive that hype for that game, and of course ultimately sales. I mean, let me give you a final example as well. Let's say if the Avengers game, right, was being made by Insomniac Games, I know for a fact, although we're moaning, including myself big time, about Square Enix's and Crystal Dynamics marketing for the Avengers game, I know for a fact that if Insomniac Games done the same thing with their marketing for the game, and it's basically literally non-existent at this stage, right, I know for a fact that a lot of us will still be hyped for the game, a lot more than we are now, purely because of Insomniac's track record. That's not to say that Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix are bad, but because we know Insomniac Games made, of course, Spider-Man PS4, and they've done a fantastic job, you kind of have that peace of mind that, hey, they're gonna, really take it to town with this one because of their skill set. So, again, two different games, two different gaming, I guess, developers, but the same type of concept. But I want you guys to get in the comment section below and let me know. Now that is going to wrap up this video here. If you did miss yesterday's video, we are talking about announcing the Avengers game show, something which you guys can be a part of, make it into videos, etc. So check that stuff out. The link will be in the description below. You can also probably see it on screen right now. I am also going to be making a playlist for these Batman video stuff, so we can, I guess, always quickly go back and track where we are and so forth. But hey, I do appreciate if you could share the videos and leave your speculation in the comment section below, everything that you possibly can do. But guys, I'll see you in the next video. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and until the next one, adios amigos.